Welcome to the Will Is podcast, especially to my new subscribers. How are you? How are you doing? Yeah, I'm putting on not live, but you know what's happening. This is coming to you special from me. Yeah, the truth. I'm out here putting out shows, and I'm grateful to you, my wonderful subscribers, for being entertained by me. The one and only with Danny D. You understand? The host of the Will Is podcast. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I promise you, I'm going to keep giving you great commentary, great things going on over here in the world. I got my dog over here, Jeep barking. If y'all hear him, you know, he cool. He cool. He cool. He's awesome. He just want to do what I do. He's like, my little cool fella. Brings a lot of joy to the to the home having a dog. It really does, man. He's an amazing little fella. You know, he's a poodle. Awesome little dude. You know, so anyway, check it out tonight. Yeah, back at you. Check it out. This is the double standard America show. Let me explain, please. I got a plethora of whip moments tonight. Whip moments. Oh yeah, this is gonna heat up. It's gonna be quite a few book shares and just a whole plethora of things to explain what we mean. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be a good show. I hope you enjoy. I hope you are excited. I hope you're excited to tune in tonight. As I told you, I'm gonna keep coming full force with what you know as real information. Double standards. Double standard in America show. Double standard in America. A double standard in America. We all know this. Black, white, and everything in between. We already understand how America has a plethora of sides now. You know, did it have to be this way? No, not at all. But let's walk down a path of discovery when you're looking at history versus mystery. But the what moments, we're going to cover all of these things. We're going to do our best. And that's why we're going to do part two with, y'all know who AE, Dr. A.E. Dixon, we're going to do part two with. It might be tonight, might be tomorrow night, who knows? But let's cook and carry on. So dig, the first whip moment. Yeah, we're going to dig right into this. Absolutely. I know you're excited, so am I. So come on. Come on with me. First whip moment. The culture of lying. Yeah, that's starting off hard and heavy. Yeah, it sure is. So let's be clear with the culture of lying. When you go through the ages, whether it be centuries, decades, or years, you notice one thing. People start saying something, and do we start just believing it? So that was a practice. That's actually a practice that's being done today by our yours truly, our president. The daily practices of repeating untruths, just saying shit. Just I'll just say it. It doesn't have to be true. I'll just say it. It's propaganda. It's kind of a machine that we live under. It's kind of like what we do here in America. We propagate things and we act like I'm talking entirely too intelligent for the president. But anyway, man, that's what people of his ilk does. They just say shit. Well, if I just keep repeating myself, people will believe it. It's true. I understand how propaganda works because you have to understand that when you have been a star as long as I have, you can just, grab them by the coat. Yeah. Yeah. Grab by the pussy. Yeah. So when you have such a figure that really loves how to show you how bad you've treated him, you will be dealt with. So that's the kind of president we got today. Yeah, he's a figure. Culture of lying starts at the top. That's why we live in an overlay culture for real. The overlay culture is actually allowing me to do actually what I want to do. This is what the overlay culture gives you, people. You see what Putin did? You see what Putin did? Yeah. I love it. I love it. See, people, you got me back. You got me back to where I belong. So now you have to endure all of the things that I feel like you should endure in real time. Understand me well, man. This whole culture of lying has gotten us into a pickle. It starts with Europe. Yep, it does. Yeah, it starts with uh, a whole lot of uh, different cultures you probably have never heard of. I want you guys to look up the Khazarians, please. Just look up the Khazarians. Look them up. And I also want you to equate them with who you would call Jewish people. And I'm going to leave that alone. We'll talk about that at a later date. That has nothing to do with America, but it has also a great deal to do with America. It's called, like what European nations do. To solve problems with themselves, they have to solve their problems on the backs of other people. And that's a known fact. Even European-esque people will tell you the same thing. No bullshit. So it's the culture of lying is what a lot of people, period, globally are just a little tired of. Just a little sick of. I want to play a little music. It's getting a little warm in here. It's getting a little warm. So I'm gonna play a little music. Okay, you dig. You know how I do on my show when I'm alone. I like to have a little fun, play a little music, play a little hip hop. God damn it, we invented it. American invention is hip hop. You should know this. Coming in a little raggedy. Let me change that. It sounds like it could be good, but it's a little sketchy and shit. I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with it. That's a little mystique. I can deal with that. That's cool. I can deal with that. That's a little mystique. If they straighten the beat up in this moment. Anyway, check it out. The next WIP moment. Shit. Do as I say, not as I do. So you expect from me. Hold on, let me walk it back. I think there are a lot of misinterpretations about the inceptions of America. I want you to understand that a lot of this was already built. It was already done. I mean, all this, shit, building, architecture. My great granddaddy Will was an excavator, architect. He was also a carpenter. Facts. E.B. Wilson, another great-grandfather of mine, was also a pastor. Great-grandfather. Pastor. But he also had about 20 children and 3 wives. Dig this. When you come from your immediates, people that you are actually had an effect on how your upbringing took place. I grew up under a do as I say, not as I do culture. I'm from Pensacola, Florida, the deep south. The deep, deep south. You underdig? It's the panhandle. The panhandle. That's what it is. The panhandle. It's where it meets Georgia and Alabama. That's where Alabama meets Mississippi and Louisiana. Do you understand how the Amaru was a very seafaring people? You understand that? Seafaring. Amarucans. Seafaring people. Understand me and understand me well. I do understand that do as I say, not as I do culture. You have to understand culture to understand do as I say and not as I do. It really comes from survival. You understand? It comes from understanding how you're going to live your next day, your next hour, your next minute. Life changing if you understand do as I say, not as I do from that perspective. It's a commonality that baby boomers have because of how they was raised. Understand their parents came from sometimes the 1800s. Do as I say and not as I do was more so of a, if you're in the swamps and you hear whispers and chatter, children, do not do as your parents. It is time to just listen, to keep quiet, understand the rules, laws, and regulation of survival at this point in specific time. Well, are we back at those times? Also, do as I say, not as I do culture exists in the military. I did 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. See? There you have it. Yeah. 8 years. I was the Training and Education Command Sergeant. Always been a chief. 21 years old. I couldn't dare being told what to do for too long. I had to be in charge. I had to know. Everybody needs to know, hey, I cannot be dominated. I will not be dominated. I will press the envelope, and I'll press your ass too. You underdig? See, when I was in the Marine Corps, I had one rule. Well, maybe I had a few, because I had standards for myself, me as a being. Well, they'll say, well, how the fuck did you have that, Danny D? How you have standards beyond the Marine Corps standards? Meaning dignity in myself, and meaning if somebody talked to me crazy, out of line, out of place, ill-mannered, and rude, you know what I'm gonna do? Why don't you take that blouse off? Let me holler at you. I'm gonna beat your ass. Yeah, I'm gonna beat that ass. Yep. No, you done said it now. I need you to understand, due to the fact that just because my chevrons may be a little shorter than yours on my lapel, but these weapons, they're gonna be on your ass if you don't understand how to respect somebody from what you see. Because what you see is what you get. What you can get. It was once upon a time in the Marine Corps where you could actually do one thing. Exchange physically. Good, clean violence. That's what we wanted. Good, clean bodies. Hey, that means you can watch your goddamn mouth the next time you think about acting like I ain't who I am. Because if you understand the full fledged of the Marine Corps, you understand the non-rate or the Lance Corporal, the PFC, who did all the goddamn work. That shit had to change. Who was the innovator? Shout out to all the Marine Corps. But shout out to 3-8, 3rd Battalion Marines. It's a retired battalion, but one of the greatest battalions that ever existed on this goddamn planet for sure. Especially when I was a part of it. Hell yeah, I was an innovator. I was that dude like that. You know I was too. Shout out to my homeboys. Hey, leave them comments. Y'all talk shit if you want, I'll come see you, motherfucker. But anyway, check it out. 3rd Battalion Marines was a teacher. It was my teacher. It was a teacher. It was a for sure made me a man type of cat, man. Shout out to all my partners, my friends, my brethren. We are still brothers today from 3rd Battalion Marines. Yeah, for sure. And secure. Semper Fidelis. Always faithful. Yeah. So do as I say, not as I do. It's not always the worst motherfucking thing in the world because it can keep you safe. It can actually enslave you and save your life. Depending on your time period, your eras, you dig. But when people evolve and when people have a different formality about themselves, you have to do one thing. Let old ways go. Sometimes do as I say, not as I do. It's not the proper way to go. You dig? But anyway, the next WIP moment. Understand. Believing in your own bullshit. There's a lot of you motherfuckers do that, boy, I tell you. That's not knowing who you truly are. Backtrackers. Subtractors. Not additional understood atoms. Understand this, man. Check it out. Understand, understood, overstood, and understood means you can go within and go out. Dig, under dig. That's why I say under dig, man. I'm an old school motherfucker. So I say old school shit. You understand that, my young audience? Please understand that. I'm a cold cat. Yes, sir. But anyway, when you believe in your own bullshit, you do one thing. You tell yourself lies. You practice cognitive dissonance. You practice things that are called. How many of you live in how many of you live in around people that only look like you? That's practicing what you would call you know what it is. What the people that came out of caves and Neanderthals, what do they practice? Xenophobia. Xenophobic. Just purely don't understand the cultures and aspects of other people who will copy them, kill them, eat them, destroy them, and put them in remembrance. That is barbaric and psychotic and pathetic. It's like a weird love-hate type of, I'll eat you. Like hey. Shout out to my homie LaJuan Bland. I will be doing another Delectable Negro show because it's so prevalent these times, especially with the Diddy trial and shit. Man, that shit is like, that's a freak show. For real. God damn. Yeah. Oh, believing in your bullshit. You know, you got this cat, man. You know, you got people sticking up for him and acting as if he was somebody that he is. It's really never been. Never been. Never. He never even thought of being the person that he really wanted to be. He thought about the person that, you know, he was constructed as. What do you mean by that, Danny D? Well, when you're constructed, you just he has a legacy. You gotta understand his father Melvin was murdered. He was crucified. Worked for Frank Luke, worked for Nicky Barnes, yeah, New York. And you know, in that kind of lifestyle, you know, my father was a part of that lifestyle. My father was trying to, well, actually, my father had met and was going to do business with the likes of a big New York rival cat. But my mother was a being of integrity, honor. But they, you know, everybody had their issues. They go through a whole lot of ordeals. When you go through ordeals, you understand how to do one thing: seek refuge. So when you seek refuge, what do you do with seeking refuge? You rebuild your brain first. That's an inside equation. Your brain is you gotta remember what I told you about your brain. Your brain has no sight, no touch, no hear. It doesn't even see. And it can't even feel. But what is the purpose of having a brain? The purpose of having a brain is like a master computer mind complexion concept, because the brain dictates everything. So if it can't see, touch, feel, hear, or do any of those equations, none of that, that means these are your weapons and tools. It can tell you things that are extremely, you know, faster than we can even touch a computer. Touch a computer, period. Faster than we can, a computer, we react faster than computers. We react faster than AI could react. Only if it studies